Hello students, this is Pallav Darbari, your host, and I welcome you all in Pallav Darbari classes. In this video, we will discuss the first chapter of business studies, that is nature and the purpose of business. The topic that we will discuss is profession, features of profession, employment, features of employment, and we see the comparison between business, profession and employment. And at the end, we will discuss the classification of business activity and industry. Firstly, we will discuss the meaning of profession. Profession is economic activity in which person uses his specialized knowledge and skill to meet out his livelihood, to meet out his minimum requirement of life. So we can see that profession is an occupation that requires highly specific and in-depth knowledge of the relevant field. For example, doctor. Doctor uses his specialized knowledge of medicine, and by using his specialized knowledge of medicine, he earns his livelihood. Similarly, in the case of CA, chartered accountant uses his specialized knowledge of accounts, and by uses his accounts, he earns his living. These are some of the examples of a profession. Let us discuss the features of profession. The first feature of profession is degree and knowledge, then code of conduct, then limited capital investment, then professional association, restricted entry, and service motive. Let us discuss all these features one by one. Firstly, I just give the glimpse to you, and now later on we will discuss in detail. Listen, the first feature which we can see over here is professional degree and knowledge. Only that person can practice the profession who is having the required knowledge needed to practice the professional and holding a degree. Example, only that person can practice the profession of medicine who is having the thorough knowledge of medicine and having the MBBS or MD degree. Similarly, in the case of chartered accountancy, that very person can practice the profession of chartered accountants who is having the degree given by the Institute of Chartered Accountants and having a thorough knowledge of accountancy. The second feature which we can see over here is code of conduct. The meaning of the code of conduct means following the protocols given by professional association. So in a profession, every person is supposed to follow code of conduct. If the person is not following the code of conduct, his degree can be cancelled. The next feature is limited capital investment. In the case of profession, limited capital is needed. When we compare with the business, less capital is being needed because in the profession, only the interior is being needed. In some of the profession, only table and the chairs is being needed. So as compared to business, very little amount of investment is needed. The next feature is professional association, as we have discussed when we were talking about the code of conduct. In the case of professional association, profession is being controlled by organization. That organization check whether the code of conduct is being followed by the professional or not. This association give degree or allot degree. This association also cancel the degree if the association see that the code of conduct is not being followed. The next feature is restricted entry. Every person cannot start or practice the profession. Only that very person can practice the profession who is holding the degree or who is having the required zeal needed for the profession. The next feature is service motive. Service motive means in the case of the profession, the main motive is serve the people. Keeping that motive in the mind, the professional provide the quality product at a reasonable price. Let us discuss all these features one by one in detail. The first feature is professional degree and knowledge. We can see over here, a profession requires an individual to possess in-depth knowledge in the field. In the case of doctors, in-depth knowledge of medicine is needed. In the case of chartered accountants, in-depth knowledge of accountancy is needed. So before practicing a professor or to practice a profession, one should have a deep and in-depth knowledge. The second feature is code of conduct. Every profession follow an ethical code of conduct which is being prescribed by the professional association. In the case of doctors, every doctor is supposed to follow the code of conduct prescribed by the All India Medical Association. In the case of MBA, every professional has to follow the code of conduct prescribed by All India Management Association. In the case of CA, every chartered accountant has to follow the code of conduct prescribed by Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants, and so on. Next feature is limited capital investment. In the case of profession, limited capital is needed. When we compare it with the business, here very less capital is being needed. Why? Because he don't have to purchase huge machineries or need huge investment. Only in most of the cases, only the table and the chair is being needed, or only the interior is being needed. The next feature is service motive. Every professional aim at giving prime importance to the client serving. What it means? It means that the main motive of every profession is to serve the people. And accordingly, every professional serve the people by meeting out their requirement. In the case of MBA, provide quality product reasonable price. In the case of doctor, serve the patient. In the case of chartered accountants, protect the organization from the corruptions or manipulations done by the employee, and so on. The next feature is restricted entry. Entry in a profession is restricted through some requirements such as profession of a specific degree, knowledge. Listen, specific degree and knowledge of a specialized skill and membership of some professional association restrict the entry of every person. Only the qualified person, only the person having the required knowledge and skill can only practice the profession. Next is professional association. It is the association or the body which frame rules and regulation and check that every member is abide by the rules and regulations, so that every professional should carry out their duties as being expected them to do. Now we will discuss employment. It is an economic activity in which one person sells his physical and the mental labor in consideration of money or money value. Let us see what is being written over here. It is a type of economic activity where individuals are hired by an organization to work on regular basis and are paid in exchange of their service. So here we can say that when the individual gives his service to the organization, it is called employment. Let us discuss the features of employment. The features of employment. The first feature of employment is easy commencement. Second, no capital required. Third, code of conduct. Fourth, no job transfer. Fifth, performance. Sixth, wages. Firstly, I just give the glimpse to you. In the case of employment, it is very easy to start employment. Start this economic activity. Why? Only the appointment letter is needed or agreement paper is being needed. Just with the appointment letter or the agreement paper, this economic activity, that is employment, can be started. The second is no capital requirement. In the case of employment, the employee is serving the employer. So there's totally illogical. It is impossible, or investment of the money is not needed. The person will only invest the money when he has to start their own business. And if the person is supposed to serve the other people, the requirement of the capital is not needed. The second is code of conduct. In the case of employment, definitely the employee has to follow the code of conduct which is being given to him by the employer of the organization. The next is no job transfer. In the case of employment, the employee can't transfer his job to another employee. It is impossible. The next is performance. In the case of employment, the person is supposed to do the work as being expected him to do. The next is wages. In the case of employment, the very important thing is wages. This is the main reason for which the person is selling his physical or the mental labor to the other person. Wages means the money or the money values which the person will get in consideration of his service rendered to the organization. Now let us discuss all the features which we have discussed right now in detail. The first feature is easy commencement. Employment commences as soon as the appointment letter and the service agreement is signed by the employee. So the thing which is being needed to start the employment is appointment letter and service agreement. The next feature is no capital required. If the person is having the money, I personally feel that that very person will open up the organization, will open the business instead of serving the people. So since the person is not having any capital, that is why he has decided to join the employment. So here no capital is required to enter into service or employment. The next is code of conduct. It is mandatory, it is compulsory for every employee to follow the rules and regulations prescribed by the owner of the company or owner of the organization. If the person is being found not following the protocol, then the very person will be fired. So it is compulsory. The next feature is no job transfer. Employment cannot be transferred from one person to another or from one organization to another. It is impossible. Performance. An employee need to perform the task or duties. Whatever the work is being allotted to the employee is supposed to complete that work. He is not supposed to do enjoyment. I mean, he has not joined the organization just to do masti or the enjoyment. The next is code of conduct. It is mandatory that he has to follow the rules and regulations. Otherwise, it is illogical or it is very difficult for the employer to hold him in the organization. The employer will kick him out. Now let us compare business, profession and employment. It is a very important topic. Mostly 4 marks, 5 marks, 6 marks questions can be asked from this comparison. Let us see the point of difference. The first point of difference is commencement. The business can be commenced the moment entrepreneur take the decision that he will open up the organization. So the business depends upon the decisions of the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur means the person who takes the decision, who is having the idea and who wants to open up the organization. So that very person is called entrepreneur. In the case of the profession, it will be started the moment professionals get the degree or get the certificate from the course or he develops the needed skill. In the case of employment, the thing will be started, the economic activity will be started as soon as the employee will get the appointment letter or service agreement is signed by the employer and the employee. The next point of difference is investment required. In the case of business, a huge investment is required. The amount of the investment totally depends upon the size of the business and the nature of the business. In the case of large scale business, huge money is being needed. But in the case of a small scale business, little money is being needed. Let us talk about the nature of the business. In the case of manufacturing concern, huge money is being needed. In the case of retail shop or the service, less money is being needed. Let us see, in the case of profession, limited money is being needed, limited investment is being needed. In the case of employment, investment is zero, no investment is needed. Let us see the risk factor. In the case of business, the degree of the risk depends on the nature of the goods and the scale of the business operation. It means that the risk factor is maximum. In the case of profession, as compared to business, risk factor is comparatively low. In the case of employment, risk factor is zero because he has not invested the money. If the person has not invested the money, definitely the risk is zero. Little bit risk definitely might be there because if he will not perform the work according to the employer's expectation, definitely employee may be kicked out. So little bit risk is there, very less. Let us see the next difference, that is transfer of ownership. In the case of business, if anything goes wrongs to the owner, then his legal hire will become the next owner. The employer can also sell the owner can also sell the business to another person also. So in the case of business, ownership can be transferred. In the case of profession, it is impossible. The profession cannot be transferred. In the case of employment, ownership cannot be transferred. Let us see the remuneration. Here the return consideration is profit. In the case of profession, the consideration is fees. In the case of employment, the consideration is salary and wages, or salary or wages. Listen, there is a little difference between wages and salary. Wages means the money which is being paid to the person daily basis, and the salary is being paid on regular basis, monthly or weekly. Let us see the code of conduct. A business does not require any code of conduct. In the case of profession, code of conduct is mandatory and every professional has to follow the conduct prescribed by the professional association. In the case of employment, the employee has to follow the code of conduct given by or drawn by the organization. Let us see the qualification. As such, no qualification is needed to start a business. Prescribed qualification is needed to start a profession. For example, in the case of doctors, knowledge of medicine is needed. In the case of CA, knowledge of accountancy is needed, and so on. In the case of employment, it depends upon the nature of the job. Let us see the classification of business activities. Business activities can be classified into two categories. One is industry and the second is commerce. Industry can be classified into three categories: primary industry, secondary industry, and tertiary industry. Primary industry can be of two types, that is the extractive and genetic. Secondary industry can be of two types, manufacturing and construction. And manufacturing industry itself can be of three types, that is analytical, synthetic, processing, and assembling. Let us see the primary industry. These industries undertake activities related to extraction and processing of natural resources. So the industry related with the extraction and the processing of the natural resources is called primary industry. The primary industry can be of two types. One is extractive industry. It is related with the extraction and refining of natural resources. Example, petroleum, coal. Second is genetic industry. These industries undertake activities related to breeding of plants and animals. So in short, we can say that industry related with extraction and processing of natural resources called primary. It is of two types: extractive industry related with extraction and refining of natural resources, example coal. Genetic industry related with breeding of plants and animals. Now let us discuss the secondary industry. These industries require raw materials and further processing them into final goods. Example of the secondary industry is Textile industry. In case of the textile industry, the cotton is being purchased by the textile firm and they convert it into the trousers. These industries require raw materials. The final product of the primary industries will be used by the secondary industries, and this industry process the final product of the primary industry into the final goods. These industry can be classified into two categories. Let us see. The first one is manufacturing industries. These industries process the raw material or semi-finished goods into finished products. Example, in the case of the raw material, we can take the example of Annapurna Atta. What the Annapurna Atta is doing, they are purchasing the wheat from the farmers and they are converting it into flour and directly selling it to the final consumers. So converting raw material into the finished product and they are selling it to the final consumers. And in the case of the semi-finished goods, let us see. Example is garment industry. What they are doing is they are not purchasing cotton. Rather, they are purchasing cotton cloth and they are converting the cotton cloth into the shirt or the trousers. So here we can say the manufacturing industry will either purchase raw material or semi-finished goods and convert it into the finished products and sell it to the final consumers. The manufacturing industries can be classified into four categories. Number one, analytical industry. These industries analyze a single product raw material and then refine and separate different elements from it to prepare the final product. Example is petroleum refinery. We purchase the crude oil and from this crude oil we drag kerosene, diesel and other things. The next is synthetic industry. These industries combine different raw materials which serve as the ingredients to produce new product. Example is color industry, paint industry. Another type of the industry is processing industry. In these industries, the raw material is processed and refined in various stages and converted into the final product. Example is tire industry. What the tire industry do? One of the department purchase the rubber, second department clean the rubber, third department mold the rubber, fourth department put the rubber in the frame, and the other department convert the rubber into a tire. I mean, we can say that here the production is going on in stages. The next is assembling industries. This type of industry combines various small components to form a new final product. Example, computer industry. In the computer manufacturing industry, what they do is they purchase hard disk from one company, processor from one company, and they convert RAM from another company, monitor from another company, and they assemble it and sell it under their own name. That is the example of the assembling industry. Now let us see the second type of industry, that is called construction industry. These industries are concerned with the construction and development of infrastructure such as building, bridges, dam, road, etc. So the industry deals in the construction of building dams is called the construction industry. It is clear from the name itself. Let us see the next type of the industry, that is the tertiary industry. These industry provide services, primary and the second industry. So in short, we can say tertiary industries are the service provider industry. Let us see the type of the industry which it can provide. The example of such type of the services is banking and the credit facilities, communication, transport, warehousing, etc. That's all we have in this video. Meet you soon with a new video. Till then, stay home, stay safe. God bless you all.